It is a scary time at Howard University. My name is Micaiah Goodman. I'm a sophomore biology major on a pre-med track at Howard University, and things are getting scary. I know people may be wondering, why do you keep making videos? This is like your 17th video. Why do you keep saying things? Because it is genuinely starting to get terrifying. One of the most popular pages indirectly associated with Howard University, Last Bison Standing, recently posted, "Things are about to get ugly, start making your exit strategy." This page is typically known to be run by, I believe, some recent graduates, and they are known for fundraising, giving out scholarships, as well as selling Howard merch. These people are telling us things are about to get ugly. Make your exit strategy. What is that supposed to mean? As a current Howard student, what is that supposed to mean? People are thinking that we're just coming to the internet to beg for money or complain, but we're genuinely scared. The university is threatening to send our balances to debt collectors. Debt collectors. There's a chance that we could have a 28 to 30, I think I saw someone put a 28 to 60% interest rate on our balances. I just finished my first year. I did not know that this was a thing. I didn't even know that this could even happen. Beyond just not being able to afford our education, people are being threatened. I would know because I've personally been threatened. Not only are we expected to pay these extremely high balances with a small number of days and a small notice, or they'll be sent to debt collectors, but we're also being threatened, pressured, and attacked and harassed to stop speaking about it and to start taking our videos down. For everyone that thinks that this is just a joke, or for all of the negative comments that are just giving out judgment and not actually listening to what we're saying, please, if there's anything that you listen to, if there's any video that you watch in full and truly comprehend, it's this one. Things are getting scary. I don't even know in what way, and that makes it scarier. All I know is if you're a student that's considering transferring, or even if you're not considering transferring, please just submit some transfer applications. There are some schools who still have transfer applications open for the fall. Just submit them as a safety net. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what could happen, but I know that I'm not going to stop speaking about it, so I just have to be prepared for whatever backlash comes, whether from the university, whether on behalf of the university, or whatever the case may be. To my fellow bison out there, stay safe, stay strong, stay happy. Please protect your peace and your mental health. It's not worth it to be on the internet letting people and strangers make you feel like you're wrong for speaking up or that you're wrong for feeling a certain way. And please, don't stress over your debts. Get them paid if you can. Take your time, breathe, but please don't stress. It's literally not worth your mental.
What? This has been happening. If you don't pay your college tuition or have financial aid or scholarships, you get kicked out.
No, they're not kicking them out. They sending them to debt collectors.
That's what happens after you don't pay it. What do you think financial aid goes? You got to pay that. And if you don't, it gets sent to a debt collector.
Well, I think the time to send the debt collector has been shrink by some new enforcement that they weren't prepared for. It just sound like.
But they're in school. I'm not understanding how she's in school right now. That for one, she doesn't have financial aid, or two, doesn't have a loan already in place. So you went to a college with no means of paying for the college?
Well, you might be shocked at this, but a lot of students rely on their careers and employment to pay for it afterwards, and they usually get deferments.
That's not what
they usually get a grace period.
She's asking, how is it being paid for currently?
Right. No, they're in school currently.
You don't go to school on consignment and then pay for it after you graduate.
You don't do that. You have to pay while you're there when you go to college. Either through financial aid or through a loan.
They get loans from various entities, and a lot of times these.
While you're in school, that they have the loan, but they're expected to pay the loan back while they're in school, is what I think she's saying is the problem.
Yeah, when I was in college, I went to HBCU. I don't know, this is probably not an HBCU thing, but you would accrue debt. You know what I'm saying? You would get loans, you would get grants to carry you through, pay for your tuition and assistance and all that stuff, room and board, whatever. You don't have to pay the stuff back until like at a certain time after you graduate. While you're in college and school, like 6 months, they typically don't have you paying the bill while you're in college.
It depends on what kind of loan you got.
Right.
It don't matter if it's subsidized or unsubsidized.
We don't know where she got her loan from.
I'm so confused. So
I will agree that I don't know where it came from, but I'm telling you,
It doesn't sound like that.
every type of college funding I've ever seen in my experience, anytime you had to owe back, it was always after you graduated. It was never during the time that you.
when you
It's
with
just
Fannie
simple.
Mae and Sally Mae.
Right.
Well, no, my roommate in college owed and couldn't pay, and she got kicked out. She had to go to a community college until she was caught back up on her payments or had money to pay for tuition.
And I think that's where we got to break it down, because there's two things that could happen. One is you could be owing the school money, and you're going to class and not owing it, and admissions will come and hit you and say, "Oh no, you got to go see admissions so you can get your debt squared away, so you can continue the class." Or you get the loans for school and you pay your tuition off,
right?
But the loan agency start coming and say, you got to start paying the loan back while you're in school. Otherwise, we're going to send it to debt collection.
Yeah, right, but that doesn't mean that has nothing to do with the school itself.
Yeah,
because either she's not getting enough financial aid to cover her school.
That's
why
they're getting
she now owes a bill.
That's why she said she wasn't getting kicked out. She said that they were getting the debt collection. That's what I heard.
We have to start applying for other schools because it's getting scary. They're talking about kicking people out of school. Howard is kicking students out for unpaid tuition, which means they're going to college with no way of paying the tuition. I don't.
So what? This is okay. So when I paid for my doctorate degree, actually I'm still paying for it out of my pocket. And I can tell you, if you're going through the school itself and they're saying we're going to set up payment arrangements for you because you're no longer getting the graduate plus loans, then you got to pay such as like my payment right now just for my doctors is $500 a month. If I don't pay that, yes, they can't come for you because I'm still doing my dissertation phase. So yes, they can come. They will kick you out of school if you're not paying that tuition. But if you are getting loans, you don't have to pay until it's done, until 6 months when it's done. So they must be making a payment arrangements with the school itself to make these payments, and they're not paying. That's when they're kicking them out. They will kick you out for that. But if you're getting loans, they're not going to kick you out for a loan, even paying plus loans. They don't kick you out to after. I mean, they can't kick you. They can only send you to the credit bureau after that point. You got your degree at that point, just paying $5 a month. But I'm just saying, But if you're making arrangements with the school, is what I did, because I said I'm not doing no more loans. I gotta pay them. I mean, my balance is much bigger than that, but I pay $500 a month, and yes, they very well would shut that school right up. They would lock you right out. You don't make that payment. I'm telling you right now.
I see one or two things happening here. Mm-hmm. One, the women are going to either get three things. One, they're going to get kicked out of class. Two, they're going to start OnlyFans on the side so they can pay. Or three, they're going to prioritize companionship, marriage, so they can be able to. So it may work out for the greater good. It may work out for the worse.
That's true.
But
if it's women and men getting kicked out,
right? I think it's something happening with the HBCU.
Oh, I hear women complaining. I don't hear the men complaining. I hear the women saying we need a safety net, so let's go to a different college.
You've seen multiple videos, Darwin, or are you basing off this one video?
I'm just basing off of this one video.
Okay, so you only seen one video of one woman, but it's supposedly multiple different students talking about this same thing.
How many videos you seen?
We can assume it's both men and women that are going through this.
How many videos you seen?
Men and women are going through it, how they gonna get married? Now nobody got a job.
How many videos you seen?
Money.
So
How many videos you seen?
I only seen the one.
All right, so
multiple
paid their tuition.
Oh, this is
students.
Everybody who is badgering these students, saying, "Oh, well, you shouldn't have gone to a university that you can't afford. You shouldn't have did this, blah 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 blah." Because it's not about that. This is no longer about people not being able to pay their balances. This is about a school becoming more focused on money and their business rather than their students and academia. For the 24-25 school year, our tuition was over $50,000 a year. If we want to do some rough math, $50,000, more than $50,000, but we're just going to say $50,000 with 12,500 students. How much money is that every year in tuition? That's $625 million. And stay with me, our tuition is rising. $20,000 more. And it doesn't stop at tuition. Let's talk about revenue. How much revenue does Howard make every year? So let's account for 2023. How much did Howard make in revenue in the year 2023? $1.27 billion. Almost $1.3 billion. But these students who are struggling financially, who can't apply their payment plans, who can't apply their scholarships, who financial aid is not being posted, they have to pay their $20,000 balance now. They absolutely need to. And let's not mention the consequence of this. If you don't pay your balance is getting sent to collections. Not only do you lose your spot and you are not able to register for classes, your tuition's getting your unpaid bill is getting sent to collections. For all my people who are considering coming to Howard this upcoming year, whether you're an incoming freshman, sophomore, junior, whatever, or even if you're in a graduate program, please reconsider. Absolutely weigh your pros and cons with other schools.
Oh, she finna get a
You
lawsuit.
can pay less and receive less stress by going anywhere else. Go there. Follow the money. Go where the money is.
Well, look, this woman right here. You know what's funny? What's funny is the women. Whenever it's a man that earns $50,000, oh, he broke. He need to get his shit together. But when it's time to pay $50,000, oh, that $50,000 too much. That's crazy.
Can I say he's a mess of the night.
Yeah, because $50,000 over a year and $50,000 in one day is two different things.
Okay. Now you know they ain't no $50,000 in no one day.
Most regulars do not man the man making $50,000. Can we?
They're gonna lie. They're the internet lie.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Ty. You think that woman in that video and the woman in the video previous to that, when they signed that damn dotted line, they didn't know that they had to pay that damn.
No, I am with you with that one. I don't understand how they're in this situation, and I feel like we need way more context. It's not making sense. Because
they just the same way these women wind up pregnant with a broke nigga on their couch trying to tell them to get the hell out. It's the same way they signed that damn dotted line. So let's stop acting like we don't know how these women.
But before you even go to college, you go through the process of filling out
and you go through the process of inserting into the vagina. Just think of the pen in the paper as the vagina in the. It's the same mentality.
Can we not?
It's the same mindset. These women are falling for the same thing. Listen, Ty. Psychologically, these women are falling for the same thing across the boards on all aspects of life. It's not just degeneracy or illegitimate children. It's making dumbass decisions when it comes to academics.
And I'm with Ty. When you first register, they've sat down and gone over this for you. Yes. They sat down and said this. You're going to apply for graduate plus loan, undergraduate. You don't have no more undergraduate money. You can only get one bachelor's degree with your with FAFSA. Then you got to do loans. So and then you got them graduate plus loans. They sit down. They talk to you about this as a whole. So I'm like I don't know how they got into this where they're getting kicked out. I'm not understanding this at all.
Because they did it. Because they did it anyways. They said, you know what? I don't think they're gonna kick me out.
But if they say you got to pay us just say, okay, when I sit down, I said I can pay y'all $500 a month. Okay, that's how much I can pay you. All right, this is my thing. If I don't pay $500, I'm gonna go try to log in school one day, and they're gonna be kicked out. It ain't gonna take no 3-4 months. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so I just read and looked at this is NBC4 Washington video, right?
Okay.
And what it sounds like it's saying is that they transitioned from something called Bison Platform or Bison Financial to Bison Hub, which is how they were supposed to pay their student money and stuff. And it's because the prices aren't because they didn't have the money to pay. It's because during that transition, the system delayed. So the semester that they were supposed to be paying then got added with the next semester and the next semester. So now they're expected to pay a year. Listen to the video. Now they're saying they're expected to pay a year of tuition because of a tech issue.
Let us listen to it.
Just some of the figures that some students at Howard University told us they discovered they owed to Howard University.
Right now, it says that I owe that 57,540 something. Like it says I owe the whole thing. Well, I cannot register for class. I cannot receive housing. It's 14,997. It's just been extremely stressful.
Now, students tell News 4, in some cases, that was 4 times the amount they're used to owing to the university every year.
These obsessive amounts of money that they're saying that we owe, it's almost like that's not one semester's worth of tuition at all. That money has been there, but where and why are we just not finding out about it?
Now, students say the outstanding balances came after Howard University transitioned to a new student financial platform. In a statement last week, the university says during the past academic year, during the transition from the old student platform, Bison Web, to the new platform, Bison Hub, some student account updates were delayed between May and June. 56,000, 42,000, 32,000, large sums of money if you're a college student. Those figures are
I know what happened.
It sounds like that's on Howard then. That's on
No,
Howard.
I know exactly what happened. What happened was, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm just filling in the gap. There was a transition from the financial institution they used to work with the inbound and outbound payments between the student and the institution. They switched those accounts to a different company or whatever. While they were switching them, everything that was paid to the previous accounts were completely ceased. And what the students were doing was, oh, I don't have to pay nothing until they get their shit together with whatever institution that we're going to be using to pay it again. But what the student was doing, instead of continue to pay that thing, they were like, oh, I'll just wait till they, get the student. And then all of the stuff all of the months that went by or whatever time it took between transferring from one thing to the next, nobody was paying nothing. And then they got hit with the lag from that. That's what happened. That's the only thing that makes any sound
But
sense.
why
Right
wasn't
now.
there financial aid? Sorry, Dr. O.
No, you're fine.
Why wasn't there financial aid in place? Even if the system was changed, their financial aid should have been in place. I'm starting school in the fall. So, I'm going back to school in the fall. I'm getting my bachelor's in psychology.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And they couldn't process my financial aid until I went and signed this paperwork or whatever. But I wasn't going to be able to start that semester until that financial aid was in place. So I don't understand how they're doing.
Listen to what I'm saying. For example, here's an example. I used to put money in a specific account for my car note. And it just automatically transferred to that. I had it set up automatically. And then it got paid off. And for a whole year and a half, I didn't realize I had already paid the truck off. So I had thousands of dollars in this account just sitting there. So what I'm saying is, can you imagine these people being told that, hey, look, we're transferring or we're stopping this institution and we're going to set up a new one. And they just, instead of saving the money or continuing to pay to an account or just putting the money back because they know that they owe, they just wasn't paying nothing. And they probably was just using the money on frivolous things. And
So that's not how financial aid works.
I think that's
not how financial aid works. The financial aid institution pays the school directly. And you get a refund check if you have money left over from your tuition. So you don't get that money directly to you. It goes to the school, which is what doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is either the financial institution that would get the financial aid somehow dropped the ball and they lost.
But I thought we said it wasn't. I thought we said it was
transition.
the institution. I thought Will ruled out that it wasn't financial aid because financial aid is not going to kick. I don't think financial aid is going to kick you out of the school.
It's whatever system.
If you don't ever receive it,
they didn't have anywhere to send the money to,
right?
though.
Or they don't
Like
have nowhere
if
to
the
send
platform was down because they were switching platforms, the financial aid didn't have anywhere to send the money to. So then the new platform came out, and I guess maybe like it was accruing throughout that entire time.
And now the financial aid you were going to receive for that tuition is too small for what your actual debt
because
is.
It's supposed to be you paying it per semester. But what it sounds like is that was a whole year because they said from June to May.
Financial aid should compensate for the lag.
They probably won't.
That's what we're saying, but that's not what they're doing.
And they probably won't though. they may have to see if they can get some type of personal loan or something to cover that.
Oh, baby, a personal
Who
loan.
cares, right?
Yeah.
Because it looked like they were charging them for the year, not just for the per
Yeah, they
semester.
were.
Right.
Yeah,
They
they
might be
were.
$4,000
It does
bills.
sound like that's a Howard issue for real. They should definitely give them some time and give them some resources that where they can go and get a loan.
Well, they would have to, right? Were they gonna kick out their whole student body?
They probably would know what them. It's stupid, but
Well,
Kick them all out
this,
then.
I know they were saying that, oh, you can go to another school. This is the thing. If you owe a school a balance, you cannot, they're not gonna give you the transcripts. You may get some
They
unofficial
don't need
ones.
to go to another school. They need
I
to
know
go
they
get a
don't.
job.
I know, but I'm just saying they're telling people go to another school, and you're not gonna be able to go to another school because you can't get transcripts when you owe a balance.
I can understand why financial aid would kick him. I mean, not financial aid, but Howard would kick him out. If Howard is a university institution that's on paycheck to paycheck, and they had this delay, and they don't have the money from the students to pay, they really have no. They got to keep the lights on and pay the bill. So it's either they're gonna go in debt, or they need these students to ante up somewhere.